Just posting it out on social media to get started. We'll get rocking and rolling right away. Today we're going to focus on some moves to assist 3 simple moves today. I'm not going to keep you for too long. And we'll get started. So I hope you've all had a great morning, afternoon, evening, but depending on where you are. Here in North America, we've had our daylight savings time, but I guess now we've gained an hour. So my intention, you're nice and relaxed and got that extra hour of sleep. And let's go into my introduction. My name is Julianne Duffy. I'm the content creator here at Breathe Within Yoga. I also have, I'm also award-winning producer of content for mukoentertainment.com. So do check that out. That is a censorship-free platform, and it is a wonderful platform where there's a bunch of content creators that are creating great content there. I also am the co-founder of Don't Get Hacked. We assist with a bunch of different things, anything with your technology essentially. However, we're really assisting a lot of content producers if you're not monetized, to assist you in getting monetized. So all that information is in the description box below. You can reach out to me and we can assist you if you want to get a little bit more seen around everywhere, right? So today, as I stated with the title here, we're going to really focus on 3 different moves to get you started. And I'm going to turn on, so if there is anybody that comes and comments in the chat today, you do have the opportunity to win a membership. So I'm going to go here and see if I can set that up. No. To wait till somebody comments. So if you comment, I can set this up and then I can give out some free membership. So we'll see if anybody comes in and comments. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, and we'll go from there. So as always, there's a lot, I've mentioned before, there's a lot of chaos and a lot of intensity going on right now. And this is a perfect time to really focus on getting yourself grounded and centered. When we're anxious, stressed out, depressed, we're not in the moment. We're not here in the present time. We are either in the future or in the past. And if you did watch my video last week when I came on my live, those don't exist. The past does not exist and the future is non-existent. The only thing that actually exists is this present moment. So the beginning of my video is no longer valid because that's the past. Now, as I'm in this part of the video, this is the present. So what I would really want to help and assist with is getting us grounded, that we are in the present moment, and using just a few key movements to assist us that you can remember each day to help move the body and get things running. Oh, awesome. Show that body. Show that body. Well, thank you. I'm going to see, since you did make a comment, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, A-Rock. And I'm going to see if I can actually go in and put on my memberships. No, it's not. I don't know. I was reading the instructions and I'm going to have to figure this out because it's supposed to be when I do messages or when there is comments that there should be a way that I can turn on to give out free memberships. However, I don't see the button. It's not here. It's supposed to be in the live chat. And even if you did remove it, maybe because you removed your comment after I was not offended. So, I don't easily get offended. I've got more things in my life to do than be offended. I'm of that generation where you don't get easily offended, right? I probably offend more people than anything else, just from being my natural self. But let's get started and let's really bring ourselves into this present moment, right? Because like I mentioned, the past doesn't exist anymore. Even the past of me trying to find that comment is no longer valid, and the future is not here either. And then I see there's a few more. What do you private chat? I'll pay. Would you do a private chat? Well, yes, if you are interested, you can reach out to me, and I would, all my information is in the description. You can also join as a member if that is something that you are interested in doing. And I've got to figure out how to turn on the membership option so I can give them out when I'm going live. And I don't really know. Let's see here. No, I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't seem to follow. Hello, White as genome. I'm so sorry if I ruined that. Thank you for joining me. Let's get started, okay? Because I have technical difficulties, and that could just be because of me, right? Just I'm a technical difficulty just from existing. So let's get ourselves in this present moment, and we will fix the, I will get this fixed, and I will figure out how to give out these memberships at some point. Okay. Let's come to a comfortable seated position. You can be on the floor for this process if you are doing yoga on the floor. If you do need the assistance, you've got your chair, have a chair. Make sure you're sitting tall, have some space between the spine and the back of the chair. We're gonna sit up tall, we're gonna bring our shoulders up towards the ears, and we're gonna take a deep, full breath. So as we inhale, let those shoulders gently come up, and then as you exhale, let them come down the spine, lengthening and sitting tall. If you feel inclined, close the eyes. We're going to come into this present moment because the only thing, like I mentioned, that we have is right at this moment. So you can close the eyes as we turn inwardly. And as we breathe in, take a moment to check in and notice how you feel at this moment. This is all that matters. How are we here at the beginning of our day? Maybe it's the afternoon, maybe it's the evening for you, wherever you're at. How do we feel? How is our mind? Does it feel like it's wandering? Do you have those symptoms of, I like to call it the shiny object syndrome, where thoughts to thoughts to thoughts are coming up? Embrace them. Notice what comes up. If it's clear, wonderful. If it's busy, wonderful. We want to become aware. So notice what's coming up in your mind. Take another beautiful deep breath in. And if there is a lot of thoughts and distractions, let them slowly, or intend that they're going to gently start to leave as you exhale. Just letting those thoughts be released. If they're important, you can catch them and grab them at the end of this brief practice. Let's take another deep breath in, sitting tall. Let's feel the lungs expand through the front, the sides. Intend, if you can't quite feel the breath come into the back of the body, feel the breath expand through the entire torso. And then as you exhale, let that breath slowly go. And again, become aware. Notice how that feels to take these deeper breaths. We'll do that 2 more times. Another beautiful deep breath in through the front, the sides, the back of the body. And then let the breath go through the nose, intending we're feeling a little more centered, a little more grounded with that breath. Let's do that 1 more time, really emphasizing that we're breathing as deeply as possible through the front of the body. Feel the rib cage expand into the back of the body as well. And then letting that breath slowly go. And when we're here, we notice and check in. How does that feel in our body? How does taking those mindful breaths, being present in the moment, how does it affect you? The intention is positively, but however, whatever comes up, notice. And we're focusing on being in this moment and that observer. So if there's a lot of judgment, whatever we might notice, intend to let it go. Even for a millisecond. The more we practice letting go of those thoughts and those judgments, the easier it gets to do it all the time. So take another deep breath in, and if there is any resounding thoughts or observations that are coming up, any noise in the mind, let them slowly dissipate, or intend that they're dissipating. Sometimes we have to fake it till we make it, the idea. Sometimes we have to just continue to imagine that we're doing it until they do release. Let's do our 3 beautiful deep stretches this morning to get everything moving. And one of them I'm going to cheat is actually a series. We're going to do our seated, or if you are, we're going to do a seated variation of our sun salutation. So even if you're on the floor, if that's where you're at with your yoga, or in a chair, we're going to do the same movements. When you're ready, we're going to take that deep breath in, reach our arms overhead using the space we have. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring those hands to heart center and let the breath go. Let's do 2 more. Another beautiful deep breath in, reaching those arms overhead. Let those hands touch. Exhale, letting the hands come back to heart center. One more time, bringing in that breath, feeling the chest again expand like we've been doing with those first few moments of breathing. And then exhaling, bringing those hands to heart center. This time, let's do that little twist. We're going to twist over to our right. Use those core muscles, keep those seated bones grounded. Bring yourselves back through center. And then we're going to gently twist over to the left. And imagine, if we can't quite feel those core muscles working, we're imagining that we're using them as we come back through center. We'll reach those arms once again overhead, and we're going to forward fold. So if the legs are straight, or if you're seated on the floor, we're going to fold over the bent or straight legs. If we're in the chair, we're going to let ourselves melt over the legs here. Keeping those seated bones grounded if you're in the chair, as we gently exhale, letting ourselves come into that forward fold. Let everything release. Let those arms be heavy. Just let those arms release. On the inhale, we're going to slowly come away from the legs. So we can put the hands onto the shins or the thighs, coming slightly away from the legs. Take that deep breath in. And then as we exhale, let ourselves completely release. Going a little closer to the floor, to the legs. Let's do that one more time. Another deep breath in, coming slightly away from the thighs, the legs. And then completely surrendering for this last breath. Getting the torso as close as we can to the legs, or maybe even imagining the nose might be able to touch the knees as we fully release. Now we're going to activate the core. So again, belly button to spine, and we can intend, if we don't even feel it, we're intending we're using those core muscles. Keep the chin tucked as we slowly bring ourselves back up through to our seated position. Let's do a cat and cow. Hands on the thighs, sitting tall, bring the chest forward, let the back of the head and the tailbone, imagine they can touch. And then exhale, rounding the spine. This is our scared cat variation. Take another beautiful deep breath in, opening through the front of the body. Feel the spine move, getting all those fluids. This is our spinal flossing. We want to really move all of the spine to get the blood and the fluids moving between them. This will assist us in keeping our spine healthy. And we'll do that one more time. Let that breath go. Imagine someone's giving you that hug, squeezing it out, and then gently coming back up to seated. So that was kind of our first yoga, salutation variation. Let's do something with the upper body. We're going to bring our arms overhead, reach the arms to the sky. We're going to bring our palms so facing away from each other. This can be quite an intense stretch. So go wherever it is. If the back of the hands touching is enough and you're feeling quite a bit of stretch, great. If you can interlace those hands so the palms are away from each other, one hand is behind the other, and we start to lengthen the arms. Take note of which arm or which hand is in front. We want to avoid the shoulders going towards the ears, and we're going to feel a beautiful opening. So we want to sit up tall, we want to keep our chin level. We're just going to feel a beautiful opening into the back, the shoulders, torso, maybe even into the neck, into the arms. We'll take another deep breath in. Imagine someone's lengthening our arms. And then as we exhale, we'll gently release the arms, let them come down to the sides. Take a moment, shake it out. Check in. Again, we're coming back to that moment, being present right here, right now. So notice how that felt. And we're going to reverse it. So whichever way we had our hands, we're going to do it the opposite way when we go towards the sky this time. And it should feel different. It should feel probably more awkward because you'll have a dominant side versus a side that you don't prefer as much, right? Deep breath in, reach those arms overhead, palms away from each other. This time reversing which hand is in the front and the back. It might feel a lot tighter. Maybe it's a little easier. Take that moment and notice. And without judging, again, we're removing that judgment. We let that go with the thought and accept where we are right at this moment, because this moment is all that we have. Let's take that next breath in. Maybe imagine that our fingers can reach a little higher, or we can get those arms a little bit more into alignment with our ears. Our chin is level, so we want to avoid the chin to the chest. It's a lot of intense stretch going. And as I mentioned, if just the back of the hands are touching, wonderful. Stay there. Don't force anything. Listen to your body in this present moment. Let's take another deep breath in, opening. And then gently release those arms. Shake it out if you need to with the wrists and the shoulders. And we'll take that moment once again. Check in, notice how that feels. Becoming that observer and avoiding as much judgment. Oh, it wasn't perfect. Oh, this is so tight. We observe that that is how it felt in that moment without attaching that it is good or bad. It is what it is. Let's take another deep breath in. Let's come back to the chest and back into that deep breath, opening up through the front of the body, the side of the body, the back of the body with that beautiful deep inhale. And then as we exhale, slowly letting that breath go back in that present moment. Now let's do one for our lower body. Again, to get into our hips. So now if we're seated on the floor, it's going to be the same kind of idea. We're going to keep our we'll put our left leg straight if you're on the floor. If we're in our chair, we're going to keep our right leg bent. And then with that left foot, we're going to bring it either in front, so the left foot can come across the shin, or if you've got a little more flexibility, we're going to bring it up onto the thigh. Okay, so wherever you're at, it can go onto the shin. And if this is enough and it's difficult to get the toes off the floor, have the toes onto the floor. And then we're opening up the knee to the right side. If you've got a little more flexibility, this is our figure 4 option. We're going to bring that leg onto the thigh. Again, if you're seated, the left leg is straight, and we bring that leg either just like we did across the shin or the thigh. We're sitting tall. We're activating our core, belly button to spine, sitting up, taking that deep breath in, imagining someone's lengthening us right from the top of the head. Deep breath. And then if it feels good, we're going to forward fold. So we're going to take that deep breath in, reach those arms overhead once again, and we're going to start to fold over the legs. So whether we're on the floor or on the chair, we're just going to let everything go. Keep those seated bones in the chair if you're in your chair as we let everything release. This is a perfect time, again, to become aware. Come back into that moment and notice how this feels. Where do you feel the stretch? Is it into the glutes, hips, the leg? Avoiding knee. We always want to avoid any discomfort in the knee. The toes and the knee ideally are in the same angle, pointing in the same direction. So as long as there's no discomfort in the knee. If there is, adjust. There is no knee openers. We do not want to do anything to our knees. We want to keep them as healthy and working as long as possible. Now we're going to take a few breaths, again, becoming in this moment. So as we inhale, we can maybe close those eyes if that feels good, as we bring that breath in, and intend that we're sending that breath if there is some tightness into the glutes, the back, the hips. Deep breath in, let that exhale take us a little bit deeper, maybe imagining we can get a little closer to our legs. We'll do that 2 more times with that beautiful deep breath. Inhaling, we're coming slightly away. Exhaling, we're finding that little bit of space. Seeing if we can stay with the breath. The only thing we want to be focused on is how this feels in our body and our breath. So we're keeping that focus. Another beautiful deep breath in. And intending that any tightness is completely dissipated. Even if it's not, we imagine we're letting go of that tightness on this last breath. Slowly, let's bring ourselves away from the legs. If you get dizzy, keep the chin tucked as you gently make your way back up to seated, whether you're on the floor or in the chair. And we'll slowly release that right foot. Take a moment, shake it out. If you're on the floor, just put both legs straight. And if you're on your chair, just take a moment, give it a little bit of love. And we'll do that on the other side as our final of the 3 kind of poses for today. So once again, each side might feel quite a bit different. So listen to your body and follow whatever feels most appropriate. Now with that left foot, again, maybe it just comes across the shin. The toes can be on the floor. This is great. We're opening up the knee. to the left side. If you've got a little more flexibility and you can bring it onto the thigh, wonderful. Again, mindful of the knee, and each side's going to feel different. So you might adjust and be doing a slightly different variation on this side versus the first side. When you're ready, let's take that deep breath in, reach those arms overhead, and let ourselves melt over the legs once more. Let the chin come to the chest. Let everything be heavy. Notice as we come through this breath, how this side feels in comparison to the other side. This is our moment, again, being in this present state, because that's all we have is the present moment. Noticing, maybe taking that comparison, and then releasing any comparison as we let ourselves sink. 2 more deep breaths, breathing, creating space. Wherever there might be tightness, maybe imagining that that breath is going into some tightness. And then using the exhale to find our way to go that little bit deeper. Let's do one last breath here. Feel the torso expand, feel yourself coming away from the legs. And then as we exhale, we're completely surrendering the chin to chest, maybe reaching or getting that torso as close to the legs as we can for this final moment. And then slowly keep that chin tucked again if you do get dizzy as we gently make our way back up through to our seated, and let that leg go. Again, if you're sitting on the floor, just stretch those legs out. You can cross them now if that feels comfortable, or keep them straight. And then in the chair, we're going to sit up tall. Let's take this last opportunity to again become back into that present moment. You can close the eyes. I find that helps to internally become present, or find that non-moving spot and check in. Notice how the body feels after doing those few moments of stretches. Is there a little more space? Did it become aware of a little more tightness in an area? We're becoming the observer. It's not good or bad. We're becoming aware, noticing how the body feels. That present moment keeps us away from the anxiety, away from the stress, keeps us present. Because as I mentioned at the beginning, the only thing we have is the existing moment we're in. The past in the beginning of this practice is gone. The future, when you're done and you move on from this video, hasn't happened yet. So we're in this present moment right now. Let's close our eyes if that feels comfortable, or again, keep your focus on that non-moving spot. And for the final part, let's bring in an attitude of gratitude. This also really assists in being present with the moment. And you can't be anxious. You can't be anxious. You can't be depressed. You're not going to be stressed when you are in the attitude of gratitude. So if you're feeling a lot of those energies right now, this is a perfect, very simple thing you can do at any moment of your day. And no one will even know. And let's set what we're grateful for as we come into this first full week of November. I am grateful for connection to my guides, to God, to Jesus, whatever you might believe in. Maybe it's I am grateful for my body. We only have one body, and without this body, we'd be no bodies. I'm grateful for my family. Whatever it might be, see those words come across your mind's eye. You can close your eyes, and if you can't, if you're struggling visualizing, hear the words. Whatever resonates. I am grateful for. And then maybe there's a list. Maybe you want to have a few things you want to be grateful for in this moment. I am grateful. One more time, internally hearing, seeing those words, whatever resonates with you. I am grateful. And I'm truly grateful for you joining me today to do those few movements and become present in this moment. And I'm going to attempt one final time before I let you go to see if I can figure out how to give out memberships with this chat. I have not figured this out. I haven't followed the instructions that I had read before. So we'll see, because you have to bear with me that I am a flawed human, and we are all flawed humans, and no one is perfect. But however, what we can do is be honest, authentic, and have that attitude of gratitude that You know, we will learn. I will figure this out. There will be at some point where I will get these memberships given out so you can join me, because I am doing as part of the membership, if you do go at the high end, I'm doing a 1 hour full class that is for the members only. And then there's different levels which you are welcome to check out. It's all in the description. You can click on that link and it will take you to my membership options if you feel like supporting me. And of course, I will continue to do these lives and put out these inspirational videos, a lot of dog content. I find dogs super inspirational, funny, and they just bring you into that moment of joy. So let me attempt one more time to see if I can figure this out and to see if I can give out some memberships today. If I click on there, it does not, it gives me the person. Here we go. Can I see live chat if I click on that? Not really sure. I'm gonna have to reread those instructions again and attempt once again to figure that out. I will get it, and I promise one of these lives soon I'll be giving out memberships once I get this all figured out and where these buttons are. The instructions are sometimes so weird because it tells me that I'm supposed to be able in the chat, because I attempted to set it up before, but there was no buttons and no chat before I go live. Then it was once you're in what's in the chat that you can do it, but I can't find anything for it. So I'll keep working on that. I've got another week. I'm gonna get this figured out. I do appreciate you joining me, and I intend that, you know, these few minutes you took with me today has helped you to get grounded, present, and there's a lot of chaos and there's a lot of unknowns, and the only thing we know in reality is this present moment. And if you're safe in this present moment and you've got your family or whatever's important to you, that is where that gratitude goes. And that's what we got to keep pulling ourselves back to as we go through these times of unknown certainties. Nothing is guaranteed. The only thing we can guarantee in this reality is that change is inevitable. And we can come back to this present moment. And if we're in a good place at this present moment, the past doesn't matter. It's not valid. And the future doesn't matter because it's not here. So I encourage you as we go through this week that if you find yourself anxious, stressed out, getting pulled into an energy or a feeling that's not where you want to go, come back to that gratitude statement. That is an easy, simple way, or back into the moment with your breath. And until next time, have a beautiful, beautiful day. Enjoy that extra hour. I slept through it, so I guess that's what happened to my hour. I slept through my extra hour here in North America. Enjoy your extra hour. If you did time change, I know there's a few places that don't, which is what I would like to see in the future, that no one has to lose an hour or gain an hour. But that's a whole other story we can talk about in the future. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.